A wise man once said that in the world of anime, there are two types of people, Imoutos addicts and the other somewhat more normal human beings. Surely, right? If you've been watching anime for a while now, I'm sure you would have noticed the sheer amount of characters that follow a single trope. As every season of anime comes out, so do 3 shonen brats, 20 more Kirito knockoffs, another 20 of the finest harem protagonists, 40 more tsunderes, and you know what, how about just a touch of 50 more kuderes to balance it out. There, it's your seasonal anime in a nutshell. At this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if there was a factory in Japan that's literally churning out more and more tsunderes. I mean, who's all this even for? Totally not me at all. Please don't check my search history. But every so often in anime, there comes the legendary trope, one that simply transcends the rest in every capacity. People talk about the isekai MC's OP abilities. People rave about the tsundere blushes. People freak out over the yandere stare. Yet, I have one word for you, Imoutos, which actually means little sister in Japanese. Guys, let me explain. A figure in the anime world that is the true embodiment of the statement, every masterpiece has its cheap copy. Through decades of research, years of trials, it was sculpted to perfection by scientists around the world. In the field of physics, there's quantum mechanics. And in the field of anime, there is the Imouto, a being leagues above your regular ass waifus in your regular ass harem with your regular ass MC, occupying a position of power, authority, and dominance over the main character through one simple word. But when everyone is doing their waifu tier list, when everyone is talking about the new seasonal girl, there has to be someone willing to give these little sisters a chance. Because although they may or may not be blood related, surely everyone wants a cute little sister, right?
Now, alright, I know that sounds bad.
So, you degenerate piece of shit, grab some popcorn and get ready, because today, we're going to be talking about anime's best little sisters. What makes a little sister compelling? This is a question I'd often ask myself before realizing that whether it's the McDonald's from across the street or one that's a mile away, they're all basically the same. In almost every case, the little sister is written to be childish, clingy, and with some degree of tsundere-ness. Now, this might sound unappealing to the average viewer, but as always, there are exceptions. Hikigaya Hachiman has a little sister. Her name is Hikigaya Komachi. Unlike her loner of a brother, she's shown to be cheerful, fun, and actually happy. They're complete opposites. Whether it's their personality, popularity, and appearances, they are two sides of two very different coins. Yet, it's in this distinct contrast that makes their relationship work so well. Essentially, they're character foils for each other, and this makes their individual qualities shine even more whenever they interact. Rather than using the little sister character as a support to the protagonist, Komachi and Hachiman's relationship allows them to both have a chance in the spotlight. The chemistry in their conversations is so fun to watch. It's like combining peanut butter and chocolate. They both work so well with each other. But I think what makes this tick isn't just the fact that they're complete opposites, it's the fact that they're written as actual normal siblings. I know, it's really surprising.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Sometimes anime does this thing, where for some reason there is just something going on between the brother and sister that you can't quite put your finger on it, but there's some tension in the air that shouldn't be there. Something that makes you take a step back and think, okay, that just happened. To put it simply, these relationships are obviously far from the real sibling relationships that I know of. On the other hand, I think that the relationship between Hachiman and Komachi is very reminiscent of an actual sibling dynamic. They both annoy each other, but also care for the other as well. They don't get in each other's way unless they think it's absolutely necessary. There aren't any questionable undertones or references to any romantic tension between the two. They really feel like siblings who just love teasing the other. This is what I think makes it stand out from the crowd. It's what made everyone fall for Komachi in the first place. It's the fact that she felt like an actual cheeky little sister. I can't believe the only thing anime has to do is make an actual brother and sister relationship for it to be surprising and different. Then again, tsunderes are literally girls with anger issues and heavy mood swings, so I guess I can't really be complaining. Anyway, speaking of having a real sibling relationship, what happens when this is taken to the other end of the spectrum? Did you forget this was anime? A medium where anything is possible, where stories from any place, from anyone, are accepted and praised. A medium where the sky's the limit, where the only thing that limits you is your imagination. So to this, I present to you Nisei Monogatari, the epitome of wincest. Because in this show, a sister is not a sister if people aren't questioning your morals whenever you stand 2 feet next to them. In this show, why defend it when you can just accept it? Kiyomi Araragi, Karen Araragi, Tsukihi Araragi. 3 very caring individuals, yet none of them are sane human beings. And that's okay, because in this modern world, we're taught to accept everyone, no matter how different they may be.
Cut the shit off, bro. I gotta cut the shit the fuck off. What is it? Bro, what is he doing?
Despite their borderline criminal jokes that would definitely land you in jail if you were to do the same thing, these 3 truly care for each other as siblings, nothing more and nothing less. Although their actions will always bring this love into question by fans, throughout the story it's shown that Kiyomi's love will always be a pure brotherly love, and the same goes for the 2 sisters' love towards him as well. But when you combine their attitudes with the situations they find themselves in, it becomes apparent that their relationship is more of a parody of other little sister older brother relationships, if anything else. And what really sells this relationship, what makes it so unique, is simply just their personalities. With Kiyomi being nonchalant about the whole thing, with Karen and Tsuki always bothering him about something, and with everything dialed up to the extreme, it becomes a way more interesting and entertaining sibling dynamic than I initially realized. They all have amazing chemistry with each other in their own unique ways. Karen's always hot-blooded, always taking everything to the extreme, but sometimes acts like a bit of an airhead. Tsuki is played out to be the calmer one of the 2 sisters, but she also has a short temper. And Kiyomi, with his more laid-back and sarcastic personality, always collides with the other 2. And it's like watching a car crash of dialogue that somehow manages to perfectly parallel park in the end. And it's only because they're brother and sisters that their relationship shines that much. They're way closer together, and it brings out more and more of their unique quirks that lead to these amazing interactions. The 2 sisters are so interesting and well written that I think it's only fitting to mention them, seeing as they are some of the best and most unique little sisters in all of anime.
Hey, stop!
So what am I trying to say with all this? Well, it's just peak sister behavior, isn't it? Sometimes I wonder to myself, what would we do if aliens come? What can we do against their laser beams of death? How will we show them that humanity has value? I came to the conclusion that the only way we stand a chance is to give them humanity's treasure. Ero Manga Sensei. A show that symbolizes what the Imoutos genre means today. A show that demonstrates the culmination of humanity's toils, efforts, and struggles. It was said that at the beginning of time there was nothing, and then there was Ero Manga Sensei. A story so bad that it fell to rock bottom and then dug a hole to the other side of the planet, only to then emerge into the light as a world-renowned masterpiece. I know that character writing for some shows can be a challenge, which is why this show stands out so much. The main character, Izumi, likes to write light novels, cook for his sister, and most importantly, he likes to wash his sister's underwear. Totally normal behavior so far. I'm not gonna get arrested for this, am I? Now, if we look at Sagari, we can see that she's just a ball of cuteness. Leonardo da Vinci's been real quiet since this one dropped. Okay, he's already dead, but that's besides the point. A being that, simply for her popularity alone, deserves the status of one of the best sisters in anime. Like Lionel Messi, like Steven Spielberg, and like Albert Einstein, Sagari has reached the pinnacle of her position, being a cute little sister. Because surely, there isn't a sister cuter than this, right? Orimo is an anime that came out more than 10 years ago, in the fall of 2010. If you want to talk about cute little sisters, this is where it all starts. Literally titled, My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute. I know, really subtle, weren't they? Kirino is the originator of the whole Imouto genre being so popular in the first place. Honestly though, besides being a basic bitch tsundere and being secretly in love with her older brother, nothing about her really stands out. Yet, what she has over the previous other 3 is that her character says something beyond just being a cute little sister. In fact, I think that her being a sister is one of her lesser qualities, because she's someone far beyond that. What was really special about Kirino as a character was the fact that she shows us what it's like having such a niche hobby that not everyone can relate to. Back when anime wasn't as widely accepted as it was today, a lot of people would try to hide any clue that they were an anime fan. Even today, there are aspects of anime culture that aren't talked about as often because they seem too weird to the public eye. Even though Kirino, like many of us, loves this medium along with all its more interesting aspects, a lot of people still view it as a bit strange. She almost loses her best friend because they discovered her love of otaku culture and were disgusted by it. To a lot of people, it's scary to think how differently someone could treat you if they found out about that one little secret you have tucked away in the back of your mind. It could be a hobby or even a dream that you had, but one that you know no one would understand. Which is why the relationship between Kirino and her brother was so heartwarming. Kyosuke started off the show not knowing anything about otaku culture, and not even understanding Kirino herself. Why is she going so far to group herself with these kinds of people? But it's through talking with her, going to conventions, and getting to know her otaku friends that he realizes what made this hobby so important to her in the first place. By getting into different hobbies, you get to meet new and different people. And in doing so, the initial distance between him and his sister lessened to the point where they had a genuine sibling relationship. Orimel might not have the insane wacky relationships like in Monogatari, or the cheekiness between the two in Origaru, or the pure degeneracy like in Eromanga Sensei, but it has a premise and execution that is so uniquely it. More than just a little sister clickbait anime, it's an anime that shows you what it's like being around otaku culture, and that is what makes it so great in the first place. But let's not talk about the ending, shall we? A wise man once said, nothing at all. True, I can confirm. So, anime sisters, whether you hate them or you love them, they'll probably stick around for the next 10 years. Like, come on. Because for some reason, the anime industry has decided that little sisters are one of the cornerstones of what makes otakus otakus. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think that's a bad thing. After all, a cute anime girl is a cute anime girl, so exceptions can be made, at least for me. Honestly, that pretty much sums it up for the Imoutos genre. I'm sure there are a lot more I could talk about, but before that, I'm gonna get back into watching normal anime again, because I want to experience what it's like watching some truly critically acclaimed and Oscar-worthy shows. My Stepmom's Daughter is my ex. Feels good to be back.